All right, everyone, hello, and thank you for tuning in once again to Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Randomizer. We got another skirmish tonight for you between Jexfrock on the Returner's side, the good guys, and Keith McRocks on the Empire side. We're going to be playing the Dragon's Neck Coliseum set of seats today. This is going to be exciting. This is a cool one. I'm here with Nobody War, running the switchboard in the background.
How's it going, Tars?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Not bad, not bad.
All right, I got to get up some specifics here about the seed itself, but the stuff that I remember from running it, the big one, of course, is you start auto-berserked. It is kind of tough to deal with. Strength builds aren't necessarily the thing you want in this game, but they can still do plenty. They can still do plenty of work, but they usually need some backup. So our runners are going to be really wanting to find a ribbon or a peace ring early on to try to keep one or two of their party members with their wits about them so that they can throw potions around and such. Fortunately, there is a objective in this flag set for a ribbon. I want to say it's a certain number of dragons, I believe. But so that's one way of getting it. The KT skip, so skipping the tower climb and just going straight to the little boss rush at the end is a bit more complicated than this one. I believe this is the one that needs 9 characters and 12 bosses. You got to have both, which can be kind of rough. Usually in an Ultras League seed, at least, you kind of run into the KT skip stuff by accident. There's some specific situations where you're actually going after it, but in this particular case, it's a little bit more complicated since you have 2 objectives to actually get to instead of just the one. On top of that, characters start with a little bit more strength, a little bit more stats in general. The Coliseum, of course, since it's Coliseum focused, will be fully visible. Every single item will have its reward shown in the big menu, and that's a good place to get some good equipment early on, since I think the shops are a little less friendly in this one in particular. So, all right, yeah, we got Jexfrock on the left there, sporting the slate with the very nice purple trim. Keith McRocks on the right with the fantastic classic. Got that blue there. It looks like we're about to get started here. Let's take a look at that. 2 character starting party. That is pretty rough, especially considering you need 7 characters to finally get there. But Celeste and Edgar, not a bad way to start. Jexfrock doing the smart thing, popping Edgar up front right away to make sure that he gets access to his fantastic little discount for when he goes to the Figaro Castle. It looks like both players taking the Narsh check, or not check, but the Narsh looting here first. It's a pretty popular spot to start, not least of which in that you literally start directly in front of it. But also there are a decent number of items hanging out in this little shack here. You can grab one from the clock coming up and, taking a look at the shops. So we'll see what our runners have access to here. And nothing too great in the armor shop, unfortunately. So, contrasted to last night's Velt Seed, the characters do not start with no equipment, which makes a huge difference, as it turns out. Having, just your stamina stat affecting your defense versus being able to just have, at the very least, like a mithril shield on somebody for something. And that was a ribbon in that relic shop back there. Both of our runners are probably going to start scheming on ways to be able to pick that up. Jexfrock forcing a man to change clothes before he exits, and Keith heading on into the classroom to see what they got in there. We'll see. It looks like he's not going to be taking that monster in a box. The main reason that you're looking at the monsters in a box is either to find probably the primary reason would be to try to find Katana Soul, a very unique, very tough enemy who can be completely cheesed out if you happen to have a source of confusion, muddle. But I didn't see the skills that Edgar and Celeste both have, so I'm not sure if they have access to tools or lore or anything like that that would be able to help them out there. Titanium, a little thin on the items so far, not finding anything too game-breaking, but definitely finding a few things that could sell pretty well with the rune edge, that titanium helmet, not too bad.
One thing I just noticed, and I'm not sure I realized this when I was playing this, just watching them, it's scaled chest, right? Because they're getting the same items in different locations.
Oh, really?
Is that what that is?
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
Yeah, I'm working on bringing
they're
up
all
the,
they're all getting the same item pools in order, but it's all dependent on what chests and how many they're opening.
Yeah, it's not randomized amongst the chests. It's randomized in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone's going to get the first item. Everyone will get the same 5th item, and so on.
Right.
I like that. I think that's a really
that's pretty
interesting flag. That's another one of those fun ones that my favorite part about this Battlegrounds event is that the changes on paper are somewhat minor. Like as far as it's not like a Jex Rock is pretty popular for making some just completely bananas flag sets. And
this
is
not a chaos seed. I mean, a 7-9 difference is a little bit different than 6 and 9, and a skip at like 12 and 9 is different than, well, not really than Ultras League, but like some of the other skips in these flag sets are just kind of different than you see out of every other day.
Yeah, and just it really shows that the small differences, like slightly tweaking the dials, can make for like a completely different game. Like even something as minor as shop prices. Like shop prices are a little bit higher in this particular flag set, which has it's a positive and negative effect because obviously, it's going to be harder to pick up something that you want a bunch of, like sleeping bags. But it also means that those Excaliburs that our runners have been finding are going to sell for a huge amount of money. Oh, maybe not, only 26k I saw so half that, I guess. So maybe not a giant amount, but more than average, I suppose. Ooh, need a quick drink of water. Sorry about that. I'm going to work on picking up the exact flag set here so I can comment on it a little bit better. While our runners don't have much deviation. We had Keith heading for Figaro Castle while Jex Rock heads for South Figaro, but they're probably going to high-five each other on the way. Yeah,
we'll catch it on Jex's screen. It was an Esper that Keith picked up down there. I didn't see what it was, though. We'll see now.
Saw a Thunder Shield down. That's pretty nice. Shoat. So yeah, that's one apiece. Chances are pretty high that they're going to be hitting a lot of these same checks early on, especially with Celeste and Edgar start. Like Celeste makes South Figaro a no-brainer at the beginning, and having Edgar at the start is great because you can save all of your consumable item purchases for Figaro Castle. End up saving 50% of your gold on that. Doot, Dragon's Neck. There it is. Oh yeah, why random? That's always fun. almost like a little middle finger to the people running. Like, oh yeah, no, the Y remove is great. Everyone loves Y remove. But what if instead it just made somebody look weird? Like, oh great, thank you. All right, Jax Rock making some equipment choices here, popping those Excaliburs on instead of selling them, which is not a bad idea this early on. They're both berserked. You got the Atlas armlets. Even at level 3, that Excalibur is probably going to be doing about, I'd say 200 to 300 damage, depending on what you're firing it against. Fire 3 on that shoat, not too bad. Only ×1 though. So those Dragoon boots, that's going to be handy. That's another thing that I did not know about, at least personally, before starting this league, is Berserk does not only use attack. It seems to be attack and also other commands that can be in that slot, like Rage, Jump, Magitech, I believe, is another one that Berserk will pick from. I haven't looked into the specific programming that causes that, but at least that's the trend that I seem to notice, is it's commands that could possibly also be in that first slot. Jex Rock taking some grind fights, unfortunately running into the Magic Urn. Not a hard boss, or not a hard fight, but you're not going to get anything. No, unfortunately, no experience. I think they give some magic points at least, which I guess would be good considering the Fire 3 with ×1 on it. So, looks like Jax is finished with the grind fights, heading straight for the Coliseum. That's somewhere that you're definitely going to want to go eventually. The more items you have, the better when you get there. Some runners have been picking up some cheap stuff out of shops, your iron helmets and leather hats and stuff like that you wouldn't normally think twice about. You might be able to trade it in for an experience egg or an Illumina or something. So not the worst use of your money early on if you're happy with your accessory count. Hero rings for under 10 grand, that's pretty good. Okay, I've got it all plugged in here. Let's take a look at this flag set while our runners get their early game stuff set up. Keith McRock's making some tough decisions in the relic shop there. Can't blame him. There's a lot of good stuff. So the chest contents are, in fact, random scaled. Yeah, you were right. Not a lot of experience, unfortunately, with some of these fights outside of the Coliseum there. Edgar taking a little bit of zombie on him before the fight ended, so missed out on that last level. Oh, dear. I mean, if you can take down this Doom Dragon, it will be worth your time. Fallen 1 is going to make that a lot more difficult, obviously, but this guy's worth a ton of experience points. Good blocks. Oh, boy, that's huge. Yeah, 22,000 2,200 experience points is nothing to sneeze at this early on. Getting up to level 11 that's a good place to be. Let me double check. I think the scaling is just characters, espers, dragons for this particular flag set, so that that means that that Esper that Jexrock picked up is going to increase enemy levels a little bit, but not too terrible. Keith has a little bit extra, so might have to work a bit harder before he can go and fight in the Coliseum. Jexrock going up against a Rider. I did not catch what he was going to get. Dragonhorn, very nice. So yeah, let's see this big list here. Tonic for Dragonhorn is not bad. Force Armor, Elixir.
There's peace rings in there for Moogle
Hey,
charms.
there are peace rings. Oh. That is... I mean, I want to say that's a tough choice, but it isn't really. You don't want to get rid of those things.
What a troll.
Yeah. Like, how bad do you want it?
Yeah, you pick up a fourth one.
Yeah, there you go. It's the perfect strategy. Keith ending up with a red jacket at some point, popping that on Celeste, going to make her a lot more powerful. Merton on that Stray, not too shabby if you can get enough equipment to make your party either immune or absorb fire or wind. Then Merton becomes one of the best spells in the game.
I think there was, up at the top there's an Aura Lance too in the Coliseum I saw.
Ooh. Deciding to get another Excalibur for funsies. Yeah, the chat pointing out that you can do it. You don't necessarily need 3 Moogle charms. You can just pass the one around, but I think there was a ribbon in a shop somewhere, and
yeah, just sell those horns at this point for that money.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point, because yeah, tonic for a Dragonhorn, and the Rider was not that big of a deal, so just knock out as many of those as you can. That's a strategy I did not think of when I was... Oh, wow. Excalibur for... Oh,
Economizer.
Okay,
yeah.
Economizer. That's still not terrible, but not exactly... probably not as quick as getting as many Dragonhorns as you can. I never thought about that when I was running this during Battlegrounds, that's a really good way of getting money. Is if you can trade like an eye drop for, you know, a Ragnarok or whatever, you just might as well grab like 5 of them. Go make some weapon shop guy's day.
Right.
It's like, hey buddy, have I got a deal for you? Price to move. Jexrock heading into Albrook. This is another decent town. It's got a lot of items
Atma.
in it. That is a cheap Atma weapon. He's got
there was snipers in there too.
Go. Man, this is a good shop. Yeah, I like this. Buy 8 Atma weapons, I dare you.
He must have not have seen that Aura Lance in the Coliseum. Or didn't want to lose whatever the item was.
Or maybe just wanted to have access to Pearl.
Yeah, true.
Didn't get any Atma weapons. I'm disappointed, but Jexrock knows what he's doing, so...
There was another Dragonhorn.
They're all over the place.
Can we find the shop with the peace rings in it?
No. True Knights, though. Okay, here's an interesting question. When you're getting an item in a chest, and it's an item that you didn't really want, does it feel worse if it's a tonic, or if it's, say, like a star pendant or something like that?
It doesn't matter.
It's just exact same, like, oh,
yeah.
Right, yeah.
Bad's bad.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. Ooh, Edgar jumping on the second round with a rider here. Gonna try to take another crack at earning some items at the Coliseum on Keith's side. Meanwhile, Jexfrock heading back into Narsh, possibly going to go buy a ribbon. Yep, that looks like it's what he's doing. Oh, earrings. Huh. Well, I'm happy with his physical damage at this point, so I guess you don't really need one just yet. Yeah, this opening section with 2 characters can be tricky. You really want to find that 3rd character, and then preferably a 4th to fill out your party after that, but also you don't really want to gain too many levels without getting a couple espers to make sure that you can really maximize your stat gains out of it. So kind of tough with two folks in the beginning. Certainly can't do any like you're locked to Kefka.
Ooh, Rainbow Bush for a peace ring.
Hey, there we go. That's a much better deal. Tomb Thumb, which these guys aren't too tough, so. Edgar taking a minute. There he is. The little guy has more health than I expected. Some really good blocks happening in these. 23k for the item in Ruined Zen. I don't recall seeing light side Zen, so if Jex checked it, then it was better than the 20k one. Nope, guess not. I'll do that honestly if I see, even if it is not an Esper, if something's under 10k for the Zen Thief, I'm taking it. Glowing stone and a lot of money. Gotta wait until that market crashes. Yeah, it looks like no Aura Lance on Jexy's side. That's interesting. Either didn't see it or just wasn't that concerned by it. Oh, or maybe I missed the fight. This toe cutter is what took out Keith earlier. A shrapnel hit did like 500 damage or so to him. Our runner's still building up power. This is a scary flag set. You know, you can't control anybody unless you have specific relics on them that might, limit their ability to perform. Especially early on, having the 2 magic damage relics are very important if you're, casting spells, breaking rods, anything like that. And of course, you got to have that movable charm on somebody. Keith popping a peace ring on. First player to have a character too controllable in their party. Well, Jex starting his checks, heading into the ruined South Figaro Cave, running into a grind fight on the way. Keith checking out Kolingen, seeing what the shop here has in store. Not a bad shop. I usually don't come here unless I've got Setzer with me, so I can make it a check. But I do like that the shops are all on the same screen. Very appreciative. Plus, there's a guy there that'll change your party composition and remove equipment and all that good stuff. It's not used very often, but it's nice to be there. That is the 3rd Excalibur over there on Jexfrock's screen that our players have found in chests. Lots of Excaliburs tonight. All right, Keith checking the item shop in World of Balance, calling in now, finding red caps, finding warp stones. Yep, not a lot. Strago over there in the cave, pretending to be a thief, pretending to be a master thief. Didn't even put on a different color cloak or anything like that. Come on, man. Although I suppose a random old man from a village nobody's ever been to probably doesn't have to conceal his identity when working with criminals. Versus the king. A king. Keith going to Jador. Really hitting the shops early. Wants to find something. There's a piece missing to the Keith puzzle, and he's looking for it. Meanwhile, Jack's finding an Atma weapon in the basement. I guess that makes it probably better that he didn't drop 100,000 on a bunch of those things. We'll see what Jax has to put up with here to get his old man. Piranhas. So this early on, these guys aren't going to be too terrible. Like, they've got all these little guys have a regular attack, and I think one of those special attacks that does has a damage boost attached to it. Let's see. I believe they've got thunder shields for their elemental resistance. Like, I don't think anybody's wearing any fire shields, so the El Nino attack isn't going to be too terrible. Still might take out Edgar or Celeste if their magic defense isn't high enough, but I don't think Jex has too much to worry about here. Ooh, that's a good armor shop. Cat Hood, Aegis Shield. Czarina gowns are not bad. Mirage vests are not bad. Nothing top tier necessarily, but pretty good high tier stuff. Blink and you miss it. The pink piranha is down, and Jex gets their third character. Oh, Vanilla Strago. That's actually one of the better things that Strago can be. And he comes with Pearl Wind. That's very nice. Also comes with Pep Up, so that'll be funny if he ever gets confused. Guaranteed to use it if he gets confused or zombied, it seems. I can't even begin to count how many times I've seen a Blitz user get confused and they just immediately use Spiraler. It seems to happen way more often than any other command. Just whoops, up, gotta go. All right, yes, Jex is going to take the rest of Edgar's checks here. This is not a bad time to do it. You're never going to be closer to this weird engineer man. And it's a tough check. I really dislike the amount of time it takes to walk. You can't warp back out. But there's a monster in a box here. There's a bunch of regular non-monstered boxes. There's a dragon down here. There's a lot of good stuff. It just is a bit of a time investment. Meanwhile, Keith is still working on his Whirlwind shopping tour. Still hasn't made many purchases, so still has not quite found that one special item to break open this seed for him. Although, arguably has maybe not necessarily better equipment. It doesn't look like he managed to secure an Aura Lance from the Colosseum, unfortunately. Still using the Gold Lance on Edgar there, but we'll see if he doesn't go back over there to correct it as Keith heads into the Opera House. This is a fun one. Not a lot of people take this check, but it's a decent one. It's got some grind fights in it. It's not too tough to avoid a couple of those fights if you want to. You don't get to peek it, unfortunately. You just got to take what it gives you. But other than that, not a bad first or early check to take if you happen to start with Celeste. Just make sure you press the right switch. Good job. I've definitely done that. Jex is taking on the Ice Dragon with a full Berserked party. Still very happy with his offensive damage output. Can't necessarily disagree with him. Except for Strago. Ah, Keith got Merton online. That's what's going on. That is a good angle to take, especially with these fights in the beginning. Merton does fire and wind damage. Can be kind of tough, because if anything absorbs or resists either of those two things, then it won't do anything to that creature, but thankfully you can do that as well. So Thunder Shields, I think all of the Elemental Shields will deal with it, plus Minerva's and Red Jackets, etc. Jax Brock getting an experience egg off of that dragon, making the sealed, or the sealed? No, sealed cave is Terra's thing. Whatever, the underground...
Ancient castle.
Ancient castle, thank you. The lore castle that goes nowhere. Making that a very good place to go. This is going to be... Experience eggs end up being a pretty good gap if they're utilized properly. Like, having one early on will make at least one, if not two, of your characters substantially more powerful than they otherwise would be.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this plays out now, too, with Keith having the Economizer Merton strats up. He's going to basically fly through bosses.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Jax Brock's going to have to come up with something else on his side. He's just going to have to pick one of his physical attackers to pop that thing on. Whereas Celeste is set for basically the entire game. Like, she could just keep doing that all the way to the end. Finding a Magic Esper would make it a lot more efficient, but chances are she's going to be doing about 5 or 6k by the end of the game, just with using Merton, even if the Economizer's on.
Oh, and it's X-Magic. I missed that, too.
Okay.
Get out of here. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that's the right choice, then.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she's already doing 1,300 too.
And remember, his levels are a little bit lower. He's a little behind Jax in that sense. So yeah, I'm curious to see if that egg is really going to help Jax. Hopefully,
yeah.
I mean, he can just push ahead here.
Jax is a little bit ahead on checks, not necessarily like progress.
Yeah, it's interesting
checks,
see where he's going to go next. Pick up another Esper on the throne.
Oh, yeah, he hasn't checked the throne yet. Siren at the...
Opera.
At the Opera House. That is a good one to find. You really want to have... some form of mute by the end of the game to stop that obnoxious magic casting that tier 2 does.
That's a spicy play. Is he checking the shops?
Yeah.
Or is he doing it?
I certainly hope so. Okay, good. That would be... Like, I don't need it. So yeah, Jex and Keith are pretty much neck and neck here. Keith potentially, I think, has a bit more of a chance to pull ahead at this point. Lower levels, but one of his characters is endgame ready, and Edgar, honestly, is reasonably close too with the Dragonhorn Boots combo, but he's need to pick up another character to cart around a Moogle Charm. Deciding to go with a Atlas Armlet and regular attacks instead. Heading into the Magitech factory. This is an interesting one to do in general, but this is the time to do it. Around minute 30 is when you want to really start committing to a path. You're going to want your next couple of places that you're going to go sort of locked in, and just calling an audible if you happen to run into another character that would be a little bit faster. Like if you run into Realm, maybe you want to do the Esper Mountain real quick. If you run into Terra, you might want to go and do a couple of her checks real quick before going back to your plan. But Magitech Factory here I think is a good play. Oh, Jex saw the Aura Lance. Let's see what Boss Keith has to deal with here at first. The Ifrit and Shiva spot. Hey, it's this guy. He's nothing. Don't even need... Yeah, save the 15 seconds from the 2 Merton casts and just go with Fire 2. Ooh, did not kill him. They're gonna have to wait. Ooh, I saw earrings for the Minerva there on Jexbrock's screen. That's not a bad play. I'd probably take that since I know where they are. They're not that expensive. You can go buy a couple more, and Minervas are extremely good. Ice Shield, that's a bummer from the Ifrit and Shiva spot. Heading right on in, not even going to take the save. Bravery. Meanwhile, Jexfrock's taking this dragon in the Opera House instead of the Opera House part of the Opera House. Let's see. Okay, that's what it is. 3 dragons get you a plus 20 vigor. I could have sworn I remembered some sort of dragon reward in this one, but couldn't remember what it was. Oh, 2 dragons get you a ribbon. So Jexy's going to get one right after this if all these Pearl attacks don't take him out first. Oh, Strago's down and won't be getting back up, unfortunately. Well, for this fight, anyway. Alright, Jexfrock getting his ribbon. We'll see what fun little item he gets as well. He got them kicks. Got them sick kicks. Ooh! Minerva's not bad to find, but 2 dead checks in Magitech Factory. That is extremely unfortunate for Keith. Gonna take it all the way to the end, though. Aha! Jexrock running into the other little hiccup in this flag set, and that is that Espers have a 50% equip rate. So a character, unfortunately, only has a 50% chance. I think that's what it is, right? A 50% chance of being able to equip an Esper? Or like 50% of the Espers.
Yeah.
I forget the distinction there.
The spells are 0 to 5. The equipable is 6 to 12.
Okay. So each Esper is equipable by 6 to 12 random characters. That makes a lot more sense. Because yeah, you wouldn't want to accidentally make a seed where just nobody can equip any Esper. Ooh, kind of Not too tough of fights along here. Let's see if Merton will take care of these guys. It will. 4,800 damage. That is Celeste. Celeste is doing that at like level 15. Well, Jack's taking a grind fight and some free healing there. Wanted to unequip that stray, perhaps? Well, no one can equip the Rama, but that's okay because he has no spells and his Esper bonus is stamina +2. So, that's fine. Pick up some enhancers. Not a bad idea. Especially when you have a Strago with lore there, he's gonna be doing a lot of magic damage.
Vanilla boss on the train ride. Just realized that.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yawn. But yeah, Keith just tearing right through him. Two dead checks. This last one, I believe, is guaranteed progression. So that will be nice at the very least. But not going to cost him too much time since Jex is heading into the same one right now. So Keith's still with a slight edge with Merton. Oh, never mind. Gonna have to come up with something new for this one.
I think he's got ice.
I think he has ice too. He found an ice shield a little while back. Yep, there it is. Ooh, not quite the big damage that he was getting out of Merton, unfortunately. But both of his characters have a bunch of elemental resistances on them, so this fight isn't going to last too long. And down goes Flame Eater. So Keith did get one Esper out of this, and a lot of power, which is helpful, and that's one of the main reasons why you want to do one of these multiple part checks is because there's something else there that you might want. I noticed Keith did pick up a lot of chests along the way, which, you know, considering how much he's looking around for items in shops, probably is still a little bit unhappy with whatever output he's got. Oh, a blank Ifrit was his reward for the full factory. That's unfortunate. Well, Jexfarok taking out the bosses as well. Taking a little bit less time on the Ultros, but not too terribly far behind. Keith taking out this white dragon. Let's see if he has a little bit of an easier time surviving all the pearl attacks. Well, I like to see that. So in case anybody out in the Twitch land there doesn't know how level ? Pearl works, it takes the ones digit from your gold and uses that as the multiplier. So if you have an amount of gold that ends in 1, it will hit everyone every single time, which is cool when you're doing it, obviously not cool when the enemy is doing it. Conversely, if you have 9 or... God, I don't know what happens if you have 0, if that just does nothing or if that's also everybody. I imagine that just does nothing. Okay, Keith is about to climb up Narsh. Interesting. There's a dragon up there, which Keith is looking to fight some dragons. But other than that, just the one check with Tritok. Doesn't have the Yeti, so can't keep going through to the Yeti cave. Oh, Master Pug. Oh, I thought he was going to fight him there for a minute. That would have been exciting. Yeah, the reward for the Master Pug is unfortunately not too great. Gradius knife, Holy Elemental knife. A lot of battle power, but not one of the top tier weapons exactly. You can steal a Megalixir from that guy, which is kind of nice, but other than that, like, the Master Tonberry doesn't really give you too much in this game. Jexrock taking out Doomgaze there on the left. Had all of his math straight. Didn't take much damage from that level, from that Pearl thing, from the dragon earlier. Nobody was at multiple of 5 here. Doing the good counting. Still attacking physically, it looks like. I didn't see what Celeste was rocking in that fight. I saw Poison come out a couple times, but not going the Merton route like Keith is here. Man, Celeste is doing so much damage on Keith's side. Already up to 56,000 on Dirt Dragon. Is Dirt Dragon weak against wind? That would explain the high damage. I don't know why I never bothered looking that up. Hey, fixed dice. It's a little late to find those and be able to use them too effectively, but nice to have in case Keith runs into Setzer or something. Pretty slow start on this seed. Not a lot of characters. Not a ton of divergence amongst the runners here. Jexrock found that Strago by going underground, and Keith is fighting Inferno up here, which, yeah, Merton's not going to work against this guy either, unfortunately. But not a lot of characters, a bit of a slow start on this one. Looks like Jex's stream is having a little bit of a hiccup. Yeah, it's not Merton, but Bolt 2 still putting in some pretty good work here. 2200 on Inferno. Edgar kind of keeping up the rear. Edgar is going to be a little weak for another 10 levels or so, but once Edgar hits that magic number of 32, that Atma weapon damage is going to start skyrocketing. So that is Dragon down for Keith. I believe this... Oh, wait, no, that's Tritok. Excuse me. Oof. Another dead check. That is a bummer. And Genji Glove is not exactly a game changer at this point for him either, unfortunately. Run back in, have some bucket water. Does a body good. We'll see where he goes next. Not as many options left, really. It's, the Figaro Cave or Kefka and Narsh, I think, at this point. Opting to do some spelunking. So, We'll see Keith walking through here, picking up his old man at the end. Then maybe start seeing some Strago checks after this, probably. Hey, Jex is back, and he is fighting the Flame Eater. Opting to get rid of the balloons makes a lot of sense in this situation, since you have berserked characters. You can't tell them what to target, so you don't want them wasting any turns on the riffraff.
I would think, in my opinion, Jax would stick and check out Strago's checks after this.
Yeah, that's the next thing to do. Keith is going to have to go through this to actually get some more checks to make. Other than the Strago thing, pretty much all that's left is Kefka and Narsh.
Yeah, I would have thought Keith would have maybe done Kefka and Narsh before he came here, but he didn't.
I can kind of see not wanting to go through that with one character. But when one of your characters is Celeste doing, 3,000 to 5,000 damage, and right. she'll probably do fine. Thank you for the kind words, chat. I hope everyone else is having a great Friday. This is a lovely evening to sit down, have a drink, watch some
Empire beat up on the returners.
Watch some fantastic people engage in honest and earnest competitive excitement in order to try to better themselves and defeat the Empire once and for all.
Absolutely.
I actually don't know what side you're on. I haven't fully checked the thing. I might get inflammatory later on. We'll see. Jex Rock getting his steps in here. Edgar's going to have incredible calves by the end of this. Now Keith takes out his spaghetti fish. Is he gonna do? Yeah, why not? Go fight that dragon. It's a Skulldurgan. There we go. Yeah, 1,500 damage. So Edgar is probably at around level 30 right now for Jex Varrock, and his damage is going to jump with every single level he gains after this point. So yeah, Atma Weapon takes a little while to get online, but once you get it to the end of the game, it's huge damage, and more importantly than that, honestly, it's defense ignoring, which is extremely useful for a bunch of different enemies.
I love that Marvel Shoes play right there.
Yeah, popping them kicks on the old man. Jex Varrock gets his plus 20 vigor and another Atma weapon for his troubles. I don't know if he's found a Genji glove or not. But
I haven't seen any. Like not a one.
I think Keith got one from the Tritalk fight. That was a dead check, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think Jex has found one. Which using it, I really like to have my Atma weapon user with the shield. It's kind of a bummer. Mirage Vest is a good piece of equipment for an Atma weapon user, though. That's pretty smart. Meanwhile, Keith is heading down towards the ancient castle. Probably gonna take that dragon fight along the way, get his plus 20 vigor and an experience egg on top of it. Oh, I forgot to mention this earlier. This is the other reason why you would want to take Monster into boxes, is because I I want to say 3 of the enemy formations that you can run into give a large amount of experience for the trouble that it takes to deal with them. There's the PM Stalkers right there, which they're pushovers. You can at these levels and with this equipment, you could probably kill them all with a multi-targeted fire 1. And they give a decent amount of experience for the problem. And the other one is Gigantos, who is substantially tougher, but gives a huge chunk of experience no matter where you run into him, and can be stopped. He doesn't like poison. There's a couple of little things you can do to deal with him. Jexrock running into a second Flame Eater up there. That's another feature of this flag set that I forgot until just now, is bosses are randomized, not shuffled. So shuffled means that every boss will be accounted for, but they won't be in necessarily the same space. Random means that every single boss is randomized with another boss. So you can run into the same one multiple times. You can have a seed that has 7 or 8 Magi Masters in your way. All sorts of horrible crap can happen with random bosses. Yeah, Keith heading into the basement of the ancient castle here. Probably going to fight this dragon. See if he takes the Esper first. Yep. Gets his Kieran. Yeah, Haste 2. I like having Haste 2. It's not a great spell. It's not required, but it can really take some of the sting off of trying to set up a complicated calmness protection or just any other shenanigans that you might run into at during the final boss there. Plus, it can kind of short-circuit tentacles if you're using it at the right time, but that's not necessarily an effective use for the spell. Yeah, Keith just trouncing that dragon. Yeah, Jexrock just slightly ahead by about 1 check here. Had a much larger lead earlier on, but that lead is shrinking bit by bit as Keith makes very good use of his extremely high damage Celeste and soon to be extremely high damage Strago, throwing around Mertens. Oh, I missed if Jex checked what Gao had on him, so unfortunately I don't know what his abilities are, what he's going to be bringing to the team, other than just another warm body. Keith picking up a dried meat. Jex had a couple of them. I don't know if you found them from... Oh, no, it looks like he just purchased them, because now he's changing his party around. Just taking Strago by himself. Interesting. Alright, we'll see how lucky he gets. Oh, he's heading next to the cave, too. Might take the Serpent Trench after this. Yeah, it's a good one to run into. And the only thing I don't like about the PM Stalkers is sometimes they decide to die one at a time, which can be extremely frustrating. Keith getting to the tower, probably very happy to see another character wandering there in the front. Gonna take that climb himself. Get his leg workout in. Skipping the chests at this point. Not a bad idea, considering how much shopping and looting Keith was doing early on. You might as well try to make that time up here. And you know you're not really... I mean, if with the scaled chest, you know you're not missing something specific. You know, you're not going to walk past the Illumina that every other character picked up. You know that if you're up to like 65 or 70 chests, you're like, okay, well, everybody else probably went up to about this spot. I can...
With that chest there, they're both even. They both opened 80.
Oh! That rules.
Yeah.
Jexrock picking up that zone seek from the Velt check. About to head into... Yep, he's taking the Serpent Trench. So we'll see if this works out. This is a little late for this sort of thing, but I think this flag set in particular kind of runs a little bit longer than some of the other ones. And Jexrock has enough power at this point, and smoke bombs and all that other good stuff to not really have to worry too much about the time sink that might come in. Hey, there we go. That's fun. Yeah, pop that red jacket. Get all the vigor you need. And the red jacket. There's a lot of body armor that has stat buffs on it that I didn't realize. The Genji armor, for example, I think has like +2 or 3 to everything, which makes it maybe the best piece of Genji equipment to find if there wasn't so many other great things to pop in your armor slot. Can't wait to see how much damage this Edgar's going to do.
Ooh, Gigantos in the trench.
Oh. He got out of his box. Went for a swim, and now he's dead. For 23,000 experience points.
Might be another one.
Yeah, right? Yeah, now I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm taking the monster route. I want to fight as many of those guys as I possibly can. Beating Gigantos in 2 hits, that's free. Is Gao doing 5,000 damage with a Hawkeye?
I wouldn't doubt it.
That was not a sniper. That was blue.
He must have had an insane stat roll.
Maybe. This is a bummer of a fight. Oh, he only did 31 that time. I wonder what happened with that. Is Apocryphos one of those ones that's like secretly flying? Perhaps? Because I think Hawkeye has that. Sniper doesn't, but Hawkeye does like more damage to flying enemies. There are a bunch of enemies in this game that are technically floating. Really throws me off a lot of the time. Shiva, hey, it was progression. Not a character, unfortunately, which still need 3 characters at this point. Jexrock's side, 4 on Keith's side, which is a lot. Edgar's the only one that can wear the cat hood. But we're going for it. Got lots. Jex has a lot of endgame equipment with him to sell here. Keith making the long walk down. Let's see where Jexrock heads to next. Oh, Jador. Yeah, popping his head into a couple more shops. That's interesting. what he's looking for at this point. My understanding is his equipment's doing pretty good. JS in the chat. Yeah, sorry about that, man. We got it running to round 6. Caught me off guard a little bit too. I found the saw the notification when I was on the toilet.
Let me get text back up again.
Yeah, I think he's one of those fellas that's running on like original hardware and stuff. So a couple more potential points of failure along his setup. Got a cool look though. I like the kind of grainy CRT look of it. Keith going to get his Zone Seek Esper from these PM Stalkers, hopefully with just the one fight. Nope. Not getting the Velt check in one fight is a bummer, but not too bad. Ooh, yeah, this is not going to happen either, unfortunately, with the pincer attack. It can only be the regular. Jexrock finding a Reach Frog on the rafters up here. About to get a bunch of money. Hey, not bad job dodging those rats there. Keith getting rough random encounter luck here. The enemies themselves are not too tough, but that was a lot of walking back and forth to find these guys. Yeah, they kind of do look like little birds. I believe they're rats in the vanilla game. There's a bunch of were-rat palette swaps up here that have some like summoning gimmicks attached to them. Critters. Varmints. Gagoos. Little doodads. Jexrock picking up his siren. Always a nice thing to have. Ooh! That's a good Shiva. Quick at times 20 is amazing. Keith finally getting his Esper out of the Velt check. 4 fights, I think, which is rough. Hey, Jexrock going into the Cave of Counting. So there have been some changes to this cave to make it a little bit more viable. When you finally have enough coral to feed the chest, the game will stop teleporting you to the little treasure sections and will only teleport you to either the save point, the exit, or the chest. So you got a 1 in 3 shot of running into what you're supposed to run into. Plus, it's an easy way to know if you're still finding treasure chests with coral in it. That means you know you don't got enough. Go-ho! I always like that, the go-ho. Like that guy sounds like Goofy or something. Keith picking up some bolt edges. Does Gao have throw? Did I just miss that? Hey, Jex picking up Mog from Ebbett's Rock. That's a good find. Mog's got some strong checks on him. Rage and Natural Magic probably doesn't have a spot in this team, unfortunately, especially if Gao has throw. But
we'll get to see Cap get Narsh.
Well, yeah, this is a good time to do it now, right? Because Mog's there. That's going to turn it into a 3-part check.
Oh, good job, Keith. Good job, Keith.
Oh, I missed something.
No, he went to Ebbett's Rock too. I was just worried he was going to go somewhere else.
Right, yeah, like Burning House at hour 7 or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is definitely the play now. I'd be going to Narsh immediately after this. Like, I might not even mess around with whatever Jex is trying to mess around with here. There's an Orlance for sale if you don't feel like doing the Coliseum there. But I think both of our runners have embraced the Atma weapons at this point. And yep, there he goes. Jex heading straight for Narsh. Keith is probably going to head right there behind him after he finishes up this cave. He gets his Muggle. Oh wow, Keith not getting the treasure rooms right away. Taking a minute to get through there. So all those little panels, they'll teleport you to a random chunk of the dungeon. Most of the chunks have these little chests in them that contain coral. Got to pick up all that coral, feed them to the big hungry chest. You guys have commuted to work. You know how this works. You've had to get on a bus before. There's a guy in front of the bus that says he's not going to let you on until you give him his 22 pieces of coral. Oh, good. Jex remembered to activate the Lone Wolf thing. Got to go back in that shed before you do this, or else you're just running up there for fun. Yes, Phyllis in the chat. Gotta have 22 at the exact same time. Because the bus is busy. It's gotta go. You better please have your coral ready, out and ready to put in front of the scanner. Ooh, wow, no character at Kefka at Narsh. So this is a Strago locked seed at this point. You have to go get Strago in the ancient castle for this thing to progress in this. Jack's picking up his Setzer here. Very nice find. I like getting Setzer at the end. He's got quick checks on him. You can head right into Kohlingen and talk to the guy in the cafe. Which, even with no free checks, that's a pretty good place to find a nice big item. And then you can head right on next door to the tomb and just take care of that. Oh, question from the chat. This is Dragon's Neck. Uh-oh, do we have a conflicting title? Terribly sorry about that, folks. This is the Dragon's Neck Coliseum version of the flag set. Lots of vigor. Lots of berserk. Lots of people with their faces all burnt up. Swinging lightsabers at clowns. It's a good time. Hey, this guy. Goodbye. Blink and you miss him, the leader. Doing his main job, which is don't die in one hit. So that is the 9th Esper for Jexfrock. Probably not going to see a skip attempt, unless he gets some really rough luck, or ends up with a bunch of extra characters out of nowhere. Well, maybe not even then, because if he gets that 7th character, his levels are almost 40. I would just be going straight into the tower.
Characters either Daryl's or Burning House, so if it's not at the inn.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, it could be here at the Moogle defense here.
True, that's right.
But it's not. And yep. Okay, that's why he saved first. That's smart.
Almost forgot about that check already. The most OP check in the game.
It's incredible. It shot Mog from like bottom tier to top tier, in my opinion.
Nars is just incredibly OP right now.
Ooh, Carbuncle. Match site number 10. Means you're going to have to go through a dungeon. Definitely Daryl's tomb at this point. You're doing everything you can to not have to go to the Burning House this late in the game.
Do search the skies first. If you get 11 out of there, I'd go for both.
Well, the skip is attached to the characters and not the espers. So getting...
It was one or the other, right? 9 or 12?
No, it's both conditions, 9 characters, 12 bosses. Sneaks up on you there.
Yeah,
it's the same number, but a different...
The same reason I lose all the seeds. Learn to read.
It's a lot of stuff to read. I can't read I have to plug it into the website. I cannot read the flags by themselves. The website, of course, by the way, ff6worldscollide.com. Please head on over there and try all this stuff out if you want to play the game for yourself. We also have a wonderful Discord full of wonderful people who just love gabbing about this game all the time. Head on over there. Get that. There's a link to the Discord on the website. From there, you can use all the fun little bots we have to play these seeds. All of the Battleground seeds have been programmed into the Discord bot, so you can pull one of those up whenever you like. They're a lot of fun. This game in general is just a lot of fun. Like this is a really strong randomizer. It's got a great team behind it. So yeah, please come check us out. I guess after this. Don't turn to another channel. All right, Keith going through this as well. Keith needs a lot more espers than Jexfrock, though. So
yeah, this is the right play too here with the easy reset. Once you read what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can save before going into the whole thing, or if you want to hang on to these items that you might pick up, you can save at the end and then just warpstone out. Ooh, unfortunately, Keith ran into an enemy, and that guy is going to get right back up after this, unfortunately. This particular spot is a rough place to run into one of these fixed encounters, because the little sprite will just respawn. Yep. because they keep coming out as they get defeated in the vanilla version. I think there's... Is it 2? Is he going to have to fight another one of these, or is it just this one? I think it's just this last one.
He just caught the rider, right? The very last one.
Oh, you're right. He is probably going to catch the rider. This is the another one of the... It was
an actual mob, right?
Yeah, this is another one of the brown
he'll hit this
soldiers.
twice, and it'll probably hit the rider.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Yep. Proto armor. It's not the worst thing to run into. I mean, nothing is really going to give Keith too much guff at this point. Might take some damage here and there from like that shrapnel wasn't nothing, but damage output is so intense that not really going to matter. Meanwhile, Jex finding the Katana Soul. It's going to pair very nicely with one of his 2 berserked Atma weapon swingers. Oh, never mind. Celeste is still swinging a sniper around. All right, Keith getting Bismarck. That is, I believe, Esper number 7 for her.
Keith might take Moogle defense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he probably will. Okay, Bismarck is... no spells on it, but a magic +1 is, even at this late in the game, you know, you're probably going to still grab it.
At Daryl's.
That sucks.
Another Piranha fight.
Again. Lots of doubles. Oh, Jex opting to put the offering on Celeste. I didn't notice that earlier. That's interesting to have it on her instead of the. Whoop! Oh God, Jex. He's too big. He's too powerful.
He's down again.
Oh, hey, there he is.
Oh, it's back.
Yeah, he pops in and out. Like an old dog. As Keith worms his way through, Jex makes quick work of the purple fish. Oh boy. Yeah, smoke bomb. This particular fight can get hairy. Those 2 samurai dudes at the top there have an instant death counterattack that just a bummer. I am shocked that Ultros lasted more than 1 hit. We'll shoot a fireball at him. Gotta go. Yep, here he goes. His hand has been forced. Jex Faraka is now going to relax for a spell. So let's see how he dodges here. You can get...
Wow.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. It's 2 of them. It's a lot of experience points. I can definitely see taking 1 or 2 of them, but I wouldn't want to take that many. So yeah, does this...
74K.
Phew. 55 Edgar. Level 55 Edgar. Everybody else is in the high 40s.
What's Oh, level cap's 50.
I think it's 50. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it's nothing too spicy. Like, it's not up there in the mid 60s, right? No.
Edgar is 10% more powerful than anything else on the planet right now.
Just breathing.
Keith running into the dreaded space snail. With a berserk character, not great. But he's not worried too much, it looks like. Oh, naughty, that's... really balances out the almost 100,000 experience points. Just running into that stupid thing. Naughty. Oh no. He grewed. Take a couple counterattacks here, but that Berserk Edgar is going to turn into a bit of a liability here, unfortunately. And, okay. Sure.
This is great.
This seed is a real jerk. We have fun here. Yeah, Jack's getting lucky with Edgar.
Yeah, blinking you didn't see that one.
Yeah, the other Welk probably going down after these Fire 3s. He doesn't have a lot of HP, it's just... You know, depending on your party makeup, Welk can be a bit of a... Not necessarily a problem, like you're very unlikely to wipe to Welk. But can be a bit of a time sink, as Jex gets Cyan, character number 7. A dead check on... Good lord, this is a mean, mean seed. It's alright. Let's send all of your brain energy to Keith. Make him think that Burning House is a good idea right now, despite it absolutely not being one. Because he has to go there. Is this locked? This is locked to Burning House. You have to go there, it looks like, in this one.
Well, yeah.
Because, like, that was Jex's last
Celeste
check,
was no character. Mog was Setzer.
Mog was done.
But Setzer was no character. Let me get him back up.
Setzer was one... No, okay, there was 2 Espers. There was an Esper in the cafe also. But yeah.
So if you would have early Burning House into Cyan, you could have been doing something different.
Yeah. Very prescriptive seed here. A lot more linear than these things tend to typically go.
Is he back? He's back.
He's been here for years. But yeah, it looks like he's going to empty his wallet here a little bit before heading into the tower. Probably has a lot of gear and money on hand, so definitely want to try to empty that out. Oh, this is going to be good.
He's going to love this.
Yeah, it's definitely going to put his Edgar over the top here. Yep, there he goes. Jexrock climbing into the tower, 125.30, setting his party. He's doing it regular? He is doing it regular style. Having that 7th character guaranteed going into Kefka's Tower is also pretty interesting. Usually you have to, you know, focus on the 2 on the right-hand side. One of them is going to have to wear the Moogle charm on your ascent. So that can be kind of a kicker if you don't want to pop into the menu and redo their relics before each fight. But having that extra 7th character is kind of handy to throw on the right-hand side so that you have somebody to just hang on to that Moogle charm, and then you can set up your other two party members to be, what you want them to be at the last boss, then you save a little bit of time on the back end with not having to go into your menu. So yeah, looks like Keith is going to take this Esper fight. It's piranhas again, which, again, you're not going to lose to these piranhas, but they can be, depending on your damage output near the end of the game, they can take longer than even something like Atma Weapon, which, considering there's been Genji Gloves and Offerings and Atma Weapon the sword floating around, you might be able to pop that guy off in a minute and a half, versus these piranhas here, which can take upwards of 2 to 3, just even if you're doing everything perfectly right.
Oh, Jax.
Jaxie, Jaxie, Jaxie. Gonna blow up this fish over here on Keith's side. Is that double? Did Rizopos just do a double attack? Didn't know he could do that. So Keith's gonna pick up Seraphim, Esper number 10. Not incredible. Osmos is nice, but no stat buff on it. No real big magic gain on that either. No stop, no berserk. Already had Cure 3. Oh, where is he going? Oh, he's going to World Balance Thamasa. Oh no. Oh no, he's taken the Serpent Trench. It's technically the right thing to do, but in this particular instance, it's just going to be another rock, unfortunately. Or not even. This was an Aura Lance, I think. This is a trolly, nasty little seed. When this seed laughs, it's nyeh, 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 nyeh. There's an N in that. Keith running into the Inu, not running into Gigantos. Wait, no, I'm thinking of Burning House.
No, he fought a Gigantos in the trench too.
Oh, you're right. They're all over the place. Fight a water giant or a fire giant. Alright, Jex made it up to the switches here. Gonna see if his party composition is gonna screw him over in any of these battles. Probably not. I think he's got Gao by himself and Celeste by herself, and they can both do defense ignoring damage. I don't think there's anything Jex can run into at this point that's going to give him too much trouble. He's got an offering to pass around in case he runs into Magimaster. Avoid the high evasion on that guy. So yeah, it seems like Jex probably has it in the bag at this point. I'd be pretty surprised to see him wipe to anything. He's got a level 63 Edgar, for crying out loud. So we'll see if Keith doesn't have a couple tricks up his sleeve. Because Keith's still going to have to go through the burning house after this, unfortunately. I'm going to have to try to... Might have to go back and look through this again, but I'm trying to figure out where Keith went wrong here. Like, what decision he made that caused him to lose, because he was in the lead for a bit early on, but he was catching up to Jex really quickly after Jex got lucky with some of his early checks and ended up not going to the Magitech factory until a little bit later. Kind of skated through some of those encounters a lot faster, but Keith was catching up there for a while, and I'm not sure if I can quite pinpoint the stumbling block he ran into. Oof. Little frustrated jig right there. Don't blame him. I've definitely done plenty of those in my day. Talking to the little punk loser kid. Yeah, why not? Go for it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, buy yourself some cat ears. You earned it, man. Edgar fixing to look cute tonight. Another leader. Lots of copies in this one. Also, Cyan doing almost 5,000 damage with a Dragon Claw. Just stock out of the gate. Yep. Gotta bite the bullet. This is not what any runner wants to have to run into this late in the game, but this is the only option, and it's the only argument I can think of for doing Burning House more often is when it is required, it hurts so much.
When you have to last location it.
Yeah, when you realize when it sets in, just like, jeez, all right, I go.
Well, that, and I think that just wraps up this scene in general. When you got a first location, Ancient Castle, and last location, Burning House.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, this is rough.
They're doing pretty good. They're moving quick.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're going like like I was just saying. I've been watching Keith this entire time.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it too. Like I said earlier, when Jex found that egg and Keith kind of just stuck with that Merton for strats for a while. Yeah, it's hard to say. I think Jex kind of hit routing more in sync with, like, I don't know.
His routing was a little cleaner.
Yeah,
but like only like 10% of it was luck. Like a little bit. He didn't go to.
The M-Tech, like, later than when Keith did it, worked out for Jex because he was just building experience with that egg the entire time.
Yeah. And I guess Keith is also running into a couple little more minor time sinks, like having to, bring Edgar back up online here, and like little things like that. That would be my guess, I guess, is that kind of stuff just added up.
Well, he took the Doomgaze fight first, and then went to do Daryl's, and they were both not good. And then he did Serpent Trench, so that was 3 checks he could have done. And not had to do before he went to Burning House first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I when you're this late in the game,
you
know that almost feels like it feels like you might as well forfeit. Like obviously that's not the actual play here,
right? Yeah.
But that's what it kind of feels like. You're admitting defeat by going to Burning House as your last check, or anything other than your last check. But yeah, fortunately, he's still going to get a couple of these Gigantos fights, and his Edgar is going to climb to the top of the mountain here pretty quick, doing
136.20.
This
is going to be fast.
Yeah, he is going to slide right through this final boss. His Edgar's got to be doing at least 25,000 damage at this point. I guess if he has the offering on. It looked like, I think he had the offering on Celeste for the longest time.
Still on Celeste, yeah, with the sniper. I like that play. Just let Edgar swing both of them and her swing 4 times.
I suppose that does make sense, not putting all your eggs in one basket. Yeah, Keith. Here's another example. Keith is running into a lot more naughties. Good job dodging that fire, though. That was a good slide. But yeah, Keith not getting quite as much out of these fights as Jex did. 8,000 HP on that Edgar. He's looking like vanilla endgame characters here. Ooh, Jexrock pulling out the shoat. So yeah, that's a surprising amount of status elements and instant death and stuff works on this this final gauntlet here. That long arm, the one facing the screen on the monster's right arm, is weak against Petrify. So your little mnemonic device that I try to remember is you can break this guy's arm. Instant death works too, obviously, but instant death will not work on the second tier, which we will be seeing very shortly. Ooh, uh-oh. Okay, he had Cure 3. I thought Gao had some sort of attack queued up, and he was going to lose his Edgar. So yeah, Keith going through this little cutscene here has got to be. Uh-oh. Well, but
yeah, he's good.
Yeah, that's fine. It didn't even bring it. Yeah. Everyone still has quadruple digit HP. Quake Schmake. I'll kill whatever I want last. Who cares?
Keith's got his cyan.
Wow, Cyan had 74 vigor naturally. Ooh. Mr. Universe over here. So yeah, Tier 2 is not... I still think Tier 3 is the scariest, but I feel like I'm beginning to think that Tier 2 can actually cause more problems for you. Like, Tier 3 can be prepped. You know, if you have Quick, if you got Golem, if you have Fenrir, you know, you'll be able to get through all of the nasty tricks that it'll be able to play. But Tier 2 there are so many targets, and they can all do nasty stuff. You have to have so many different components to be able to actually shut all this off. Like, it looks like Jex does not have any instant death, so going to have to kill tools. Natural. All right, Keith jumping in at 139.50.
Offering on the sniper.
So Keith is behind,
Gal is
but he's
doing work too. I just noticed that on Tier 1. He's been a sleeper.
Yeah, he kind of showed up late and hasn't really done a lot with the other fights, but I guess that's mostly been because Edgar and Celeste are just taking care of business. He doesn't even get a shot, but Throw with those tack stars is doing quad 9s. He's got all sorts of magic. I noticed he had 30 Assuras at one point. Which, I guess, why not?
Jax.
I didn't know. Do those do extra damage? Because I know that...
some of them have elemental properties attached to them.
Okay, yeah. I think some of the ninja swords do more damage if they're thrown, like the kunai and the blossom and stuff. I think a few of them have wind. But like, I do like grabbing a big pack of air lance sets if they're available for the final fight, because I think the mage guy in the back there is weak against wind. But, of course, they are all also weak against enormous gobs of damage. So Jex Rock moving on. Yeah. Edgar swinging 2 lightsabers here with, I think, like level 70 at this point. So yeah, this part might be kind of nerve-wracking. I know there was... God, was there a golem? I don't know if there was a golem or a Fenrir that got distributed. Hey, Poot Scooty, how's it going? Yeah, Jex's party is that. Both of the parties are honestly pretty stacked at this point. Jex just happened to find an experience egg a little bit earlier than Keith, so he had a nigh invincible Edgar a little bit before him. And yeah, Jex is already on to the Trine and Meteo phase. There's Calmness, taking out Gal. Unfortunate. That's probably the best one that could have gotten wiped out there, but yeah, Gal putting a really good show here at the final boss. So, all right, we'll see how much of Kefka's battle script just gets straight up skipped here. Do we see a fallen one? Do we even see the Goner charge? Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh! Oh! 8,600 damage times 8. That's fun. That is some...
10, 20, 30.
Yep, there's hyperdrive. And Strago does not care about hyperdrive.
40. Yeah.
Yeah, they're tearing through it. This has got to be cathartic after a seed this nasty to get to the final boss.
The scaling on this flag set's ridiculous.
They're just
GG's.
They're just whooping. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I mean this seed was over the second their Edgars hit level 50, and it's just a matter of time. And that's the crack. GG's to Jex Rock. 143.54, I believe. An incredible showing from both of these runners. This was a awful seed. And yeah, Keith forfeited. Absolutely do not blame him. That is the smart play at this point. This was brutal. And yeah, if you just pushed a weight on the thing and you saw that your opponent finished, I understand that completely. So yeah, GG's to Jex. Pushed a weight GG's on the thing and you saw that your opponent finished. What god did you curse to have this happen to us tonight?
And required burning house.
And then required burning house.
I don't know what you mean.
Like this.
Somebody's got you guys.
Did
that was my bad.
Entire family of black cats cross your path? Like, so at what point? And I guess I'll ask Jex this first, but I do want to ask both of you. At what point did you realize that this thing had gone completely off the rails?
This seed really did not seem like it was off the rails to me. I just rolled with the punches on this. I mean, like, all the offense was there. Like, a grotesque amount of offense. So it was just like, okay, let's just run to the next check and beat up whatever's in front of me. So the only thing that mildly bothered me was not coming across calmness protection, but you know what? I wasn't too worried about it. My levels were so ridiculously high that on my entire party they were ridiculously high that it didn't matter. I probably could have just gone into Kefka with everybody on Berserk and not cared.
Yeah, honestly, like the calmness protection thing, like the fact that I think both of you found like 11 espers and none of them had even life 3, much less, Golem and Fenrir on it. So yeah, pretty much any of your characters could have, walked very arrogantly into the final battle and just soloed Kefka. But Keith, like, so at how did you feel about this? Like, I genuinely do not blame you at all for forfeiting. That was probably the right call. So like, at what point did you kind of start feeling like, okay, this isn't gonna go my way?
I did things differently than I normally did, and that didn't help. So I last locationed Ancient Castle, and then when I hit Daryl's tomb and I saw nobody was in there, I was like, oh crap, I have to go back. And I'm like, so then I hit Burning House last, so I was like, I was so far. I mean, I agree. I had all the levels. I had plenty of offense. I was just so I had the only thing I didn't do, because there's no point in doing it, was Auction House at that point. So that was just rough, having gone through every single check I could have gone through. Yeah, exhausting, because I decided to do things a little different. I felt bad when I did the M-Tech and it was just dead. Ugh, that didn't feel good either.
I did M-Tech as well, because I last location Burning House as well, Keith. So
I did it first. So
yeah,
I went there really early. You caught up. That's the other thing. I'm like, everything's dead. So I'm pretty sure we're both hitting every single one of these at some point. So ugh.
Yeah, that was an interesting property of this. Is you guys you diverged a little bit in the middle. Keith, you went towards M-Tech first. And Jex, you went towards the Ancient Castle first. But like, other than that, I mean, you guys hit all the same checks. It was practically a linear seed. You both last location Burning House, which means you both had to do absolutely everything else before you got there.
Or nearly everything else, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, everything other than the Auction House. But that would have been, a rock anyway, and you guys both had that.
Like, I also skipped Search the Skies. If that's any
that's true.
I did it.
I believe it was an Aura Lance.
It was. It was not what I wanted at that point.
Phoenix Downs for Aura Lance in the Coliseum.
Yep, tried that. That backfired because I used them both, and then Edgar was dead, and I had to go to like 6 shops trying to find Phoenix Downs. That didn't help. That was annoying.
Something I realized with this flag set, for some reason, I am having trouble finding Phoenix Downs.
It's the tiered shop.
Yeah.
Tiered shops does it. So you don't even get a lot of great stuff, but you also don't get your usual stuff. So
kind of something that's similar to that. You guys were both at one point at 80 chests, and we had talked about it earlier, where you guys, Jex, you were a little bit ahead on the chest count earlier and found some items before Keith didn't find them, and then it kind of evened up since it's on scaled chests. It was interesting to watch.
Oh, what was it? Oh my god, Burning House was like a level machine.
Oh, that was incredible.
Gigantos.
Oh god, level Gigantos.
Ugh.
That was like perfect end game fights for me. It's just like, oh, this is my levels are going to be so high from this. I was half tempted to grind extra fights in there just
yeah, why not?
Just because.
While we're here. I got an egg, let's do this. Yeah, I think you both had your eggs on Edgar in that section, and I believe both of your Edgars gained 20 levels by the end of Burning House.
Yeah, I think I was sitting at level 60 when I went into KT, or at least close to it. So Keith, where were you when I finished the seed?
I'm about to hit statues right now. That's where I ended.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right stat. Did you at least look at right statue?
I haven't. I just hit the first weight, and that was it. So I haven't done anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Magi Master.
He's on right side.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a reset right out of the gate for me. It's just like, all right, I got a second at my weapon. Slap that on. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know if that was Gao and Strago are heading that way. I don't think they were equipped for that.
So, okay, I do have one question that I want to ask the both of you. At any point, did you think of selling the farm and buying 8 Atma weapons at Albrook?
I never found them. I never hit. I don't. Either I didn't notice it or I went to the wrong Albrook. I didn't. I just found both of mine. You did. No, I went.
I went into Albrook, but I don't remember seeing Atma weapons.
Yeah.
I might be getting the town wrong, but there was a weapon shop somewhere that had Atma weapons for like just under 20k.
Oh, I found nothing for. I don't think I found anything useful for weapons for sale, really. I would have
came across a couple snipers. That was wonderful. Oh, and Hawkeye was still worth it.
Yeah, once I found. I mean, the chests obviously gave us 2 Thunder Shield really early and Merton really early, so that was fine.
I burned my Thunder Shield to take down Doomgaze.
Oh, but wow, was that was M-Tech, wasn't it? No.
Yeah, that was M-Tech, and that was still mid-seed for me. That was mid-seed, so that was a very dangerous point in the game to be fighting Doomgaze.
Oh, I had already fought through Opera House and gained a lot of levels because I wasn't in. And I had the economizer from the Coliseum, so I just Mertoned him really quick. So I got
remember picking up the economizer. I mean, I picked up a bunch of items in the Coliseum just to sell it.
Yeah.
So then I went around, did some shopping, and the one thing that also made this seed significantly more tolerable was I fought baby Kefka, and he dumped the peace ring on me when I killed him. So, I had 2 characters that I could, prioritize healing or doing damage, which was Strago and Gao for me.
I bought a stack of peace rings at some shop.
I was looking around for them, didn't see them.
Yeah, I don't know which one I got lucky on, and I found a stack of them, so I was set. Might have been in Sen, because I just was looking for Phoenix Downs, so I figured I'd check while I was in there.
Okay, yeah, that actually raises a question.
Oh, yeah, I didn't buy that at Esper.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty expensive, even in the World of Balance.
Yeah.
But I that reminds me of something I did want to ask you guys. In a seed like this, where the shops are kind of screwy, they're not, they're random tiered, and there were 2 or 3 of those shops that were just absolutely packed full of incredible endgame items, but everything is enormously expensive. Stuff that only sells for half their original price. How do you guys feel about weird shop seeds like that? Is that a really common source of power for you guys when you're playing through normally, or do you just kind of use it as a bonus thing?
Weird shops? For me, weird shops, if I find something, great. If I don't, move on to the next one. Basically, I just roam around until I find that I have sufficient enough gear that I want to get started. I know using that tactic consistently does actually cost me time in races. Today it worked out.
I don't mind shops like that. It just depends on the chests are better in this one. The only reason that you go to shops, really, I was just grabbing cheap things so that I could put them in the Coliseum. It just depends on what else it's paired with. if you have like really bad chests and bad shops, then I'm not. That's kind of a grind, but it's nice having them be a little less, and it's not like just shop until you find the best thing. It's nice having a change of pace.
And so you were looking for Phoenix Downs early on after the. Okay, because I was kind of curious. I couldn't figure out what you were missing.
Well, he was dead, and I was like, I can go bring him back to life, but I'm going to need those Phoenix Downs eventually. So, and I think that's been I think that's I've heard that's common in this kind of seed. So I was like, I'm just gonna have to try and see if I can find some, and then see if I find anything else along the way, I guess. But it took 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it took like 5 or 6 towns to find a bunch of them. So that felt great. That cost me a lot. So that just added to the fun of this, the way the seed went.
So yeah, I think I've finished. You guys have actually answered a lot of questions that I forgot that I had for you. So I appreciate the debrief here. So nobody wore anything else you want to ask these folks?
No, I don't believe so. Thank you guys for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for putting it on, man.
Absolutely.
So yeah, in addition, I want to take a second to thank Nobody War for keeping the engine running in the background there. Really appreciate having all these extra restreams available to showcase these all these fun little skirmishes. So big thanks to you, big thanks to our runners for putting on the show for us tonight. Obviously couldn't do this without them. And an extra big thanks to just the mod team and everybody working on Worlds Collide behind the scenes. There's not always, I guess, but there's very frequently a lot of new updates going on. We had a lot of additions on the last Ultros League season, and now a bunch of those little tweaks are being put into use with the Battlegrounds.
Well, you mind if I give
go for it.
Take it away, Jax.
Excellent. Anybody here who is new to Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide and would love to learn this randomizer, please join us at ff6worldscollide.com. There is a link to our Discord. In that link, give our Restream team and runners a follow for putting on a wonderful show tonight for you guys. And also, anybody who's new that joins our Discord, please feel free to ask questions. We have a wonderful community. A ton of people are happy and would love to help you out, get started, learn how to do the routing strategies and all that fun stuff. Also, GG's and thanks for tuning in.
Could have said it better myself. So thanks for watching tonight, folks. We're probably going to be heading out here in a minute, but I want to echo that. Check out the website, check out the Discord. Come hang out, talk Final Fantasy with us. So y'all have a good night.